What do you want to do? Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. Okay. Who goes first?
Let that bitch go first.
Whoa. I can't believe my ears. A lot of hostility. Pumping a lot of anger. All right. Hey, check this out. We got new rules. Being next championship round, each of these cats, they get a minute and a half apiece. I don't know what's gonna happen. You ready? You know what to do? DJ, kick that shit.
Four, one pop, two pop, three pop, four pop, three pop, two pop, one. Your pop, he's pop, no pop, none. This guy ain't no motherfucking MC. I know everything he's got to say against me. I am right, I am a fucking bomb. I do live in a trailer with my mom. My boy Future is an Uncle Tom. I do got a dumb friend named Cheddar Bob who shoots himself in his leg with his own gun. I did get jumped by all six of you chumps. My girl, I'm still standing here screaming fuck the free world. Don't never try to judge me, dude. You don't know what the fuck I've been through. But I know something about you. You went to Cranbrook, that's a private school. What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? This guy's a gangster? His real name is Clarence. And Clarence lives at home with both parents. And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. This guy don't want to battle, he's shook. Cause ain't no such things as halfway crooks. He's scared to death, he's scared to look at his fucking yearbook. Fuck Cranbrook. Fuck a beat, I go a cappella. Fuck a Papa Doc, fuck a clock, fuck a trailer, fuck everybody. Fuck y'all if you doubt me. I'm a piece of fucking white trash, I say it proudly. And fuck this battle, I don't want to win, I'm outie. Here, tell these people something they don't know about me.